What's up guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are unboxing the entire full Masterchef TV series knife kits, and I'll tell you which each knife does exactly as well. So let's get onto it. So the first one we have, if I can just get this box. So the first one we have, as you can see over here, let me just show it properly. So the first knife we have over here is called a small Santoku knife. It is 12.5 centimeters by 4.9 inches, and as you can see on the blade, it has these little patterns on the edge of it. And this is basically, it's like your smaller chef knife basically, where some people like to use these more than the bigger chef's knife to cut up vegetables and things, but these are mainly to make it go by more efficiently, or cut fruit, veg, whatever you're cutting up more efficiently, if that makes sense. So basically these patterns on it are for when cutting the veg, it will go and slide between those patterns and it doesn't get stuck on the knife as it comes off the knife, as some of the smoother knives does. So this is the first one. I just need to see if they can stand, because if they can, that's great. I can just place them all later on. So onto our next knife, which is called a utility knife. As you can see, so the utility knife comes in at 13 centimeters or 5.1 inches, and this knife is basically used for your filleting of your fish. If you want to trim off the carcass or the fat from your offcuts, or if you receive like a whole top side or silver side where you want to trim off the fats, that's basically what this knife is for. It's small enough and it's sharp enough to get into those tight corners, to get into those tight edges and get it out nice and easily. So that's what the utility knife is basically used for. Cool. On top of that, we have two of the next one, and these should be self-explanatory. A lot of you probably ask for them when you go to restaurants anyway, and these come in at 11 centimeters and they are 4.3 inches, and these are what you call steak knives. So I don't think I need to go into it more of what the steak knife is. Most of you, when you go to a restaurant, you order a steak, or you get a crumb chicken or full chicken, whatever you get, you say, can I have a steak knife? And they will bring you one of these. These are basically sharper and smaller knives compared to like a small Santoku knife or a small chef's knife, where you are able to cut through that piece of steak, the piece of fillet, the chicken, or whatever it is easily without struggling with the butter knives they give you when you first sit down. So that is what these steak knives are basically used for. I will show you it up close as well. So these are your steak knives. I think I'm going to run out of space, so I will just put them like this for now, and I will repack them later. So then next we have my favorite is the bread knife. So this comes in at 19 centimeters or 7.4 inches, and this is basically your bread knife. How it looks, it has those jagged edges. So you can see on the edge, I don't think you'll see it unless you like can zoom in fully, it has like those little jagged edges basically. And this knife is mostly and commonly used for pastry chefs. When you bake a cake, when you make bread, it's much easier to cut them in half, or if you want to get them in different layers, cut them to get different layers. This knife is the go-to, and it basically reduces the crumbs, and it also makes it easier to go through the entire cake batter or cake sponge as you are take it out of the oven. Another thing is you should also let the cakes cool down first, because I know a lot of you are on one of the cooking videos, a lot of you were saying your cakes, when you try and cut them, they fall apart. That's because they're still hot when they come out the oven. You need to leave it for at least half an hour to cool fully. Once it cools, everything sets together and you're able to cut it into the layers you want, and you're able to ice it without the icing melting. So this is your bread knife, and these are gonna go on display on my shelf because I already have my knives that I actually use for cooking. Okay, so the next one we have is a small cook's knife, or a chef knife, or a small chef's knife, and this comes in at 15 centimeters, 5.9 inches, and as you can see, this is how it looks. And this is basically just it's basically like the Santoku. The only difference is you can see the blade on the Santoku has those patterns to make it more efficient. This doesn't. This is basically for more speed in the kitchens, because in fine dining restaurants you have a set amount of time to get a lot of prep done for a lot of people, and these knives are what are basically used the most, the small and the large, because you can chop really fast, you can get through everything really fast. So it's basically mainly used for chopping and dicing. You wouldn't necessarily use this for cutting up meat or filleting of fish and things like that. So it's mostly for veg and fruits and all those kind of things. Okay, next we have is the big boy. And this comes in at 17.5 centimeters and 6.8 inches, and this is the cleaver. Now a lot of you have these in your homes and you'll use them. I specifically use cleavers to cut everything, whether it's the meat, the fish, the poultry, the fruits, the vegetables, anything. I have one big ass cleaver that I use for everything, because once you get used to using these types of knives, you will never switch to another or a smaller knife, unless you need to fill it, of course. But these knives can do everything, but it also comes with the dangers that you can slice your entire finger off if not careful. So basically the cleavers are used for animal meats or bones, especially animal bones, when you're trying to break off the bones, or if you get the full carcass of the animal and you want to break it down, the cleaver is what is used to chop that thing up and get the pieces you want out of it. And then you'll probably use the small cook's knife, the utility knife, to take out all the extra fat and all of that, and the small cook's knife or the large cook's knife to basically take out or get the portion sizes you want to out of it. So now we're getting to the most, and probably the knife that's used all around the world in all kitchens, homes, restaurants, and this comes in at 19 centimeters or 7.4 inches, and this is the large cook's knife. This is the knife that everybody has in their home, the knife that everyone uses, as you can see. And these are, well, as you know, they are used for chopping, dicing, whether you want to get your julienne style, your brunoise, all your other veggie cuts, your slicing, your really fine brunoise or your thick brunoise, doesn't really matter. These are the knives to use them for, and this is the go-to. Like I said, I mostly use a cleaver now to do everything, because I've gotten so used to using the cleaver that it's like the large cook's knife is second rate for me right now. So we're getting to our final knife, and our final knife is a large Santoku knife. This is 16.5 centimeters or 6.4 inches, sorry. And it's basically the small Santoku knife, double in size. I'll show it to you guys. Ignore the Adidas, please. So it has the patterns on the bottom as well for more efficient cutting with the bigger knife if you want the bigger knife. And the Santoku knives, the small and the big one, is mainly Same thing as your large chef knife, chopping, dicing, mincing, all of that. This is just if you want it more efficiently. You don't want the veg and things to get stuck on the side of the knife where you keep on pushing it off. That's what the knives with those kind of patterns are for. So a lot of people say don't buy knives with the patterns on them because they're not really great for cooking, but they are in fact great for cooking, especially if you don't want the veg and everything to get stuck onto the knife itself. That knife patterns, the patterns on that knife will push the veg right off it and it doesn't get stuck on it. So this is all of the knives. I need to put this really nice for you guys to see it. I'm hoping I have to put this at an angle so it won't fall. We are about to play dominoes with a knife set. Go. If one falls, all is gonna fall. So we're gonna have a nice little I have 2 more knife sets and I'm going to also make videos on for you guys. One is a knife set which are diamond cuts. Diamond cuts are basically the sharpest knives you can buy. But of course all knives will be sharp if you just sharpen them with the sharpening rod, or if you get a stone. The stones are also very easy to do, it just takes a lot more time than the sharpening rods do. The only difference. However, the stones last longer than the sharpening rods because the sharpening rods will get blunt after a certain amount of time. My word, the balance I'm putting on these boxes right now. Okay, these fine like that. I hope they are fine. Steak knife doesn't seem to want to be still. Please don't fall. I've gotten this far and this is literally the end of the video. I do not want to have to do this again. Santoku. You know what? We'll just put the Santoku like this. Actually, screw it. We'll put the Santoku how it's meant to be. Oh, it's falling. No, please don't fall. Santoku box is not straight at all. Okay, well, I'm just gonna put it down. I'm not going to risk everything falling. There we go. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video on the knife set. This is the Masterchef TV series knife set. Most of you will know you can get this. When we could get this, it was the retailers had the promotion where if you spend a certain amount you get stickers and you end up getting a discount on these knives. Unfortunately, I only managed to get about 5 of them with the promotion stickers altogether. The rest of them we just got at full price. So this is it, the entire knife set for the Masterchef TV series. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment, even share it to someone that doesn't know what these knives do. The information can always help someone, so you never know. Yeah, thanks for watching, and this has been the Masterchef TV series knife set. I'll see you guys next time.